Killed on the electric chair even though I was a little kid. Although I was innocent, they accused me of killing two white girls that were the same age as me. The only evidence they had was that the bodies were buried near where I lived. I was imprisoned for 81 days without being able to see my family before my execution. There was no one around me to talk to. I have been told it is for my safety. There were 2 white jurors, and after a short 2-hour trial, my death penalty was decided. They did not allow my parents to attend the hearing and were deported from the city after the hearing. I walked around with a Bible in my hand until the day I was to be executed. I was hoping God would save me. On the day of my execution, they used my Bible as a booster seat because I was too short for the electric chair. I was killed by 5,380 volts of electricity applied to my head. After 70 years, my innocence was finally proven by a judge in South Carolina. Stephen King's The Green Mile was also inspired by my story. Remember me, remember my torment.
I might be one of the most bizarre cases in Los Angeles history. Hello, I am Walter Collins, a 9-year-old boy. Everything happened in 1928, and I lived with my mother alone in Los Angeles, California. My mother showered me with love and provided me with everything I wanted. One afternoon, I asked my mother if I could go to the movies with friends. Without much thought, she readily gave me money for a movie ticket, as the cinema was just a short distance from our home. However, when my mother returned from work, she discovered that I had not come home. Realizing the situation might be alarming, she immediately reported to the authorities. My case garnered significant attention from the public, and the authorities were under immense pressure to find me quickly. Despite several months passing without any leads, a breakthrough occurred. A child appeared in Illinois claiming to be me, prompting the authorities to request my mother's confirmation. Upon seeing the boy for the first time, my mother denied his identity, noting that he was visibly an inch shorter than me. Despite her initial refusal, authorities persistently persuaded my mother to accept the boy as me. She reluctantly brought the child back to California, and they spent 3 weeks together. Unable to come to terms with the situation, my mother once again informed the authorities that the boy was not me. However, the authorities dismissed her as being insane and subsequently sent her to a psychiatric facility. Several months later, the boy from Illinois came forward and admitted that he was not me. Today, the true fate of what happened to me remains a mystery. Do you know what truly happened to me?
You always see me smiling carefreely with my good friend, the bear, but the story behind me is filled with tragedy. Hello, I'm Masha, and this is the real dark story behind me. When I was very young, I was always silent, and my parents took me to the hospital where they discovered I had severe autism. Unable to cope, they couldn't accept it and abandoned me in the forest. In the woods, I had to fend for myself, constantly picking flowers to give to my parents, hoping to win back their love, but the situation has not improved. One day, as I foraged in the deep forest, a terrifying storm suddenly struck, forcing me to spend the night outdoors. The next day, when I returned home, a dreadful scene awaited me, my parents lying in my little cabin, the walls covered in red and mysterious footprints. Following the footprints, I discovered the cause of this tragedy, a massive bear with sharp fangs and claws. I immediately turned and ran, but it caught up to me, inflicting upon me the same tragic fate as my parents. A few days later, some adventurers discovered this horrifying scene, and one of them decided to narrate my ordeal in a way suitable for children. So, remember my happiness, but also my tragedy.
You've certainly seen my videos, where I dance alone in empty streets. Hello, I am the Serbian Dance Lady. It all began in 2019 with a video recorded near a hospital. Some students asked me to dance under a spotlight on an empty street. They started recording and laughing, but when the fun ended, I chased them with a knife. The police searched the area, but I disappeared in the following years. More reports came in of people being chased by an old woman in white, dancing on deserted streets in Serbia. One day, some young people found me again, dancing on a street. I just wanted to dance, but they decided to mercilessly run into me, bringing an end to my life. They thought they no longer needed to worry about me, but since that incident, more people worldwide have seen and captured me on camera. Don't misunderstand, I'm not here to scare you. If you happen to see me dancing on a night out, I'll invite you to dance with me. If you agree, I'll spare you, but if you refuse, I'll chase with my knife.